2022, sorry, and if you guys can just hit the got it button, that will allow us to record the meeting. But the 2022 February membership meeting is now called to order. Thank you all for joining us. As an officer team, we are so excited to see everyone join us virtually for this month's meeting. During this meeting, please try to be as interactive and engaged as possible. We are very excited for the presentation and activities we have planned tonight. So tonight's business theme is business internships. Stay tuned for more information on what you can do to get started in your careers. Now we will hear from District 9 State Officer, Olivia Frizaka.
Hi everyone, I'm your District 9 State Officer. We're going to start with an icebreaker, so let me share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
So our icebreaker is guess the movie. If somebody could track the comment section for me, just because I can't see that. Okay, so we're going to start off. If you guess it right, or whoever guesses puts it the right movie in the comment first, will get the point, and we'll keep tally. This is the first movie.
Grace Morgan asked if it was My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
It is The Big Fat Greek Wedding. Okay, so this is the next slide, the next movie.
AJ was the first person to guess with Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia is the correct answer. The next movie is this one.
Jay Sheets 4 guessed Home Alone.
Home Alone is the correct answer. The next movie is this one.
Anushka was the first one to guess, and she guessed Encanto.
Encanto is the correct answer. The next movie
Grace Morgan guessed Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is correct. The next movie is
AJ just guessed Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus is the correct answer. The next movie is
Grace Morgan was the first person to guess with Spider-Man No Way Home.
that is correct. Spider-Man No Way Home. The next movie is
Hunter just guessed Despicable Me.
Despicable Me is correct. The next movie is
Hunter guessed Hotel Transylvania 2.
Hotel Transylvania is correct. And that was the last of the slides. So we're going to tally up our winner.
I actually have that right here. So Grace got first place with 3 points. So congrats, Grace. We all enjoyed that icebreaker as much as we did. Our guest speaker for tonight is actually Grace Morgan. Grace Morgan is a sophomore at CU Boulder. She had an amazing idea to start a business, and she became business partners with Zach, who unfortunately couldn't join us today, but I will hand it off to Grace.
Guys, I'm Grace. Like she said, I'm a sophomore over at CU, and I'm going to be talking about my good friend Zach and I's company. It's called POW Expert. So let me see if I can figure out how to share my screen really quick. I have never done this before. Hold on, sorry. I think it's this one. Oh my goodness. All right. Hold on 1 second. It's making, okay, I'll be right back. It's making me leave the meeting really quick. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, it should work now. Okay. Let's see. All right. This is POW Expert. Like I said, company my friend and I started. To get us going really quick, just a little bit of things that we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, is a little bit about Zach and I, and then basically our mission statement, what we do, what our goals are, what we are working on currently, the process that we've worked on to get up to the point thus far. Okay, so back to where we were. So I'm Grace Morgan. Like I said, go to the University of Colorado. I am currently enrolled in the Leeds School of Business as a double major, double minor in operations management and marketing are my two majors, and my minors are business leadership and then business management of sports, simply because I can go hang out with the Broncos for that. And then my partner, Zach, he goes to the University of Denver at the Ritchie School of Engineering, and he is a computer engineering science major. So he's definitely more of the brains smart kind of stuff with our company. So a little bit about me before I go into it. Like I said, huge Bronco gal. Have been since I was super young. That's part of one of my degrees is to work with the Broncos. On the side, I'm a very outdoorsy person, so I'm a cowboy. I pretend to be, at least. I've been skydiving a couple times. When I was in high school, I was managing the football team, captain of the dance team at Battle Mountain for a couple years, and then was the varsity lacrosse goalie for a couple years. And then huge skier, obviously, hence the company. Couple other things. Like I said, big outdoorsy gal. I have a Jeep, so I can go anywhere I want to. Skiing again, and then I spend my summers in Michigan. And then a couple more things, just being outside, dance team. I did a lot of service work in high school, lacrosse, like I said. Here's my family. My dad, I have a twin brother who's in the middle with me, and then my mom, my dad. And then one of our main motivators for creating this company was to make sure that people stay safe when they're outside, specifically with skiing. But I personally have had a lot of experiences getting a little roughed up outside, so I included a couple pictures of me being absolutely obliterated here. But yeah, that is that for you. And then again, big skiing at Boulder. Also currently, before I get into what we are, I'm currently on the D1 lacrosse team on top of all of my ski stuff, on top of my school stuff, and then obviously this company also. Yeah, so this is our mission statement. It's pulled directly from our website. So I'll just read it to you guys. So we are the Ski Bum's Guide to Making Winter a Guaranteed Good Time. We seek to consistently forecast the terrain of your home mountain with live snow conditions, daily avalanche updates, general mountain news, and the occasional entertainment. So I'll get into it more a little bit later, but generally what we do is we have like a feed, almost like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok even, where you can post updates and you can post videos, pictures. You know, if you're local, you can, you know, take pictures of the microwaves on the mountain, or, you know, anything funny that you see, you post it there. You can say, hey, you know what? They groomed Red Square today. Like, it's really looking really sick, or there's good POW in this run, or whatever. So that's generally the idea, because my friends and I are sick of having to figure out where to find the POW. But yeah, so this is generally what I was talking about. This is what we are working on right now. So we have our forecast, which is essentially competitor to Open Snow. We're going to be providing terrain updates and condition updates, like live. So that's going to be grooming reports, snow conditions, whether it's, hey, it's looking a little chunky, it's groomed, whatever, deep pow on this runner, the other. And then the feed is what I was talking about. It's like that TikTok, Twitter feed situation where you can post to boards, community boards. And then we also have a report and reward system that we are getting up and running right now. So it's basically you get rewarded for doing what you love. You go, you ski, rip a hot lap. You get on the app when we launch it later, and I'll get into that in a second. And you get rewarded. And so that could be anything from cash gift cards or even like ski giveaways. That's what we're working on right now, is getting stuff like that. Here is our timeline that we've been working off right now. So the past couple months, we've really been focusing on getting logos done, slogans, all that kind of stuff. And then the past 2 months, we've been working on creating and designing our website, and really just like dialing it in, writing our first blogs, and then getting our social media accounts up and running. And then we also, for the next 3 months or so, we're going to be focusing on developing those social media accounts and really trying to, make it bigger, so people hear about us and find out about us, post consistently, and then start beginning our app development. And that's going to be more of Zach's job. And I wish he was here to talk about it, because I have no idea what that looks like. But it's going to be super cool. In June and August, we're going to be setting up giveaways and collaborations with other companies and accounts. I currently have already been working on a couple, Ski Town All-Stars for one of them. And then one of my close friends who I've worked with for years runs Vail Dude News. So working on stuff with them also. And then some bigger other companies, local and not local. September and October, so right when you guys, I don't really know what grades you guys are all in, but when a lot of you, I assume, are starting college, we're going to be finalizing our website and then finding a balance for integrating our social media collaborations with our own content that we're going to be posting, and just really working on making sure everything has equal attention. And then in November, we plan on launching a website for good in addition to our app, which is going to take a lot of work, but it's gonna be really cool when it's done. And then, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you wanna see our website, it's up right now. It's just literally pow.expert. Our Instagram is pow.expert. If you guys wanna email us, it's info@powexpert. But yeah, you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, I have a question for you. So, what do you think was one of the hardest parts in turning this idea into like a reality?
So it's been hard just overall, because this was originally more of my partner's idea. He was the one who was like, I need like a Twitter for skiing. We were like literally on the chairlift one day. And so coming up with the original idea has been really hard. And figuring out how to integrate all of the things that we want to put into it, the feed, the reports, like reward system, and then eventually the app, which I still am clueless about. But so that's definitely like, it's a learning curve thing. I've never started a business from the ground up before. So it's definitely been a huge learning curve. But yeah, did that answer your question?
What's your favorite part of running your company?
Um, let's see. Just the freedom I get behind it, I guess. Because I'm a very late night person. I stay up very late, and my partner gets up really early, so we can each choose our like own hours that we want to like work on stuff. And then just like, I don't know, it's very like, it's like a pride thing almost. It's like, oh, like I have this company and it's like really cool and it's all I want to talk about to people. But it's super cool. And it's just like anybody that, is from ski towns or from Colorado or wherever else, because we do eventually plan to go nationwide with it. It's just really cool to talk about. And they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And so my favorite part is just like seeing people's reactions to it almost more than anything that I do in it.
So I have another question. I don't know if this really makes sense, but like, what are your statistics on your like business? Like, when is it more busy? When is the most busiest time?
So since we haven't launched anything quite yet, I do not have an exact answer for you. But I assume that once we get launched and everything's up and going, it's going to be in the peak ski season times. That's when we're going to be getting the most activity with our, demographic like age groups, with the reporting, because it's not really like we're skiing in the summertime unless you're, not in the United States. But yeah, so unfortunately, I do not have the answer for you right now, but eventually I will.
How do you manage your time between being a college student and working on your own company?
So it's honestly very difficult. But I'm definitely not a good example either because I am a double major, double minor. So I take a lot of classes, which people don't normally do. Like, you guys probably saw my roommate walking around, but she does not. Like, I take 19 hours, which means a whole lot of nothing to a lot of people, but it's like a lot of work. Most people take like 14. So I wake up at like 6 a.m. every day. And my like first classes don't start till 9:30 or like 11, depending on the days. So I get up really early to do homework, and then I go to class all day, and then I go to like the gym or whatever, study, go to lacrosse practice till like 10 o'clock at night, and I come home and I study more. And so I just awake all the time is how I get time manage. And I don't go to bed till like 2 a.m. But Google Calendar is very helpful for time management and figuring out how to allocate your time efficiently.
Does anyone have any more questions for Grace? Okay, so thank you so much, Grace. You've truly shown us how you are planning to take your business to another level. You've also shown our members how they can take their own ideas and make them into a business or career. All right, now I'd like to hand it over to District 5 Arian for tonight's presentation.
Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay. Hi, so I'm Arian Roy. I'm the District 5 State Officer, and today I'll be talking about internships and apprenticeships and how they relate to Colorado FBLA. So first and foremost, there are several aspects of internships that make them super crucial for your career development. First and foremost, they allow you to learn about your interests, so what you're passionate about, explore everything that you're interested in, all that good stuff. It gives you a platform to connect with people who are well reputed and well experts in your field. It gives you a chance to gain a competitive edge. A lot of people who do internships go on to succeed in their fields because they gain the proper skills from their career. And at the same time, you gain a lot more than just technical abilities. You learn how to advance in your career, you gain soft skills, you gain insights into your future career paths. And overall, it's a very important step for you to succeed in your career. As you can see on the graph on the left, these are the benefits that people with internships have. I believe this was a study from, I think, Time. And based on the people who were interviewed, the majority received these benefits from their internship. So clearly this is a very powerful choice to take in your career just because you can get all these benefits that come from it. So these are some interesting stats about internships. As you can see from the top two graphics, only like 27% of people complete 2 internships and only 13% complete 3 internships. So by doing more than one internship, you're automatically in the minority of very competitive people. And because there's so many few people out there, this gives you the opportunity to really stand out because there's so few people venturing into these fields. So these are some cool stats that I left blank on purpose. So I thought it'd be cool if we could guess what the actual statistic is to have a little bit of fun with it. So the first one is, how many times more likely is a person with an internship to secure a full-time job? So just enter your guesses in the chat and we'll see who comes closest to the correct answer. Okay, and the next one is, what percent of higher chance of success do you have in your job if you do pursue an internship? So again, just enter your guesses in the chat. All right, and the last one is, what is the higher percent of chance you have at getting a job, and what is the higher percent of wages you get when you pursue an internship? Okay, so let's see our results. So you are 3 times more likely to secure a full-time job if you do pursue an internship. You have a 35% higher chance of success in your jobs if you do pursue an internship, and you have a 48% higher chance of gaining a job with 23% higher wages. So the benefits, as you can see, are plenty. All right, so next we're going to talk about how to secure an internship. And the first thing you really should do is there's a lot of internship finders and internship search engines out there. So think of like the Google or the Bing of internship finders. Make sure to take advantage of social media. There's a lot of outlets out there that specifically advertise internship opportunities on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There are a lot of job boards online, sort of like virtual job fairs. This includes Glassdoor, Monster. Do attend lots and lots of job fairs. I believe a lot of schools are starting to implement a lot of job fairs because of the increasing focus on business education. Make sure to improve your networking abilities, which we will touch on in a later slide. And lastly, make sure to visit a lot of local career opportunities and cold call companies that you love. So, if you're really into software engineering, take a look at your local technology startup, or take a look at your local fashion startup if you're really into all that, and make sure to just reach out. There's this good website called the Intern Hustle, and that has like this bingo for how to pursue an internship. So I'd really recommend checking out this website because they offer a lot of videos, websites, training programs. And the goal of this bingo is to sort of, as you progress and you hopefully get 5 in a row, you're closer to your internship. So if you really are interested in pursuing internships in the future, make sure to check out this website and, I don't know, try this bingo, see if it works out. All right, so there are a lot of places to search for internships. The first one that really comes to mind is this website called internships.com. It's sort of like the Google of internships. It's a respected site with over, I think, 6,000 high school and college internship listings. Internshipfinder.com is also a really good one. It shows like over 3,500 internship programs in both the US and the UK. Idealist.com is a really good one. Globalexperiences.com, if you want to travel internationally and do something out there, that is also a good place to look. Lots of schools, like I said, are offering internship programs. I know my school is specifically offering one over the summer if you're into that. So do make sure to talk to your counselor, advisors, and try to secure your best. These are some other websites that are really cool: Chegg, Intern Abroad, Glassdoor, Idealist. They're sort of like I said, search engines. So you essentially type in what you want, your criteria, and you get a list. LinkedIn is perhaps, I think, the most popular, the most prominent in modern day society to find an internship. And they actually offer their own guidelines as to how to use their LinkedIn profile to gain your desired career. So, become an expert, have strong headlines, make sure to keep a descriptive profile with keywords, make sure to emphasize an relevant experience, use the student profile sections that are on LinkedIn that are specifically geared for students. And yeah, hopefully by pursuing all of these, you can gain an internship. Okay, so next up, we have jobs fairs. So jobs fairs, they're sort of in-person places to pursue career opportunities and gain a lot of new experience. And there's several tips. Like, it seems easy, but there's actually a lot that goes behind making these fairs, and there's a lot more to gaining careers at those fairs, because a lot of the times at those jobs fairs, even though they're actively recruiting there, they do have very high selective criteria in order for you to gain a work experience. So make sure to follow these tips so you can succeed. So the first one really is come prepared. Bring lots of copies of your resumes, research openings on your school careers fair page, learn as much as you can about your potential employer, study the job description, dress well, don't go like super informally, make sure to be prepared. And I think this is a really good idea, but it's to sort of prepare an elevator speech when you get there so that you really have a good idea as to what to touch on during your presentation. Plan to spend some time, arrive early, that always makes a good impression. Staying late gives you more time to talk to managers when everyone leaves. So, come early, leave late. And first, start with your alternates. So that lets you hone your pitch with the companies that you're less interested in. And as you move on towards the companies that you really want, you gain practice because you started with the ones that you were less interested in. Do be interested. Don't act like, you have something better to do. Do more listening than talking to make a really good impression. Answer questions, but at the same time, don't drone on constantly about yourself. Make sure to really understand what your employer wants from you. And visit job fairs at other schools. It doesn't necessarily have to be one that's right in your vicinity. If you really want to travel outside or look at other places, there's a lot of virtual job fairs. There's a lot of job fairs inside of other schools that let you double dip and increase your chance to find an internship. And last, I think this is the most important, follow up. I have a lot of friends who go to these fairs, try to get the internship, like everything's well, but then they just completely forget to, follow up or email or call. And that sort of ruins their chances. So do make sure to call, follow up, show your interest, be enthusiastic. And this infographic on the left is a really good sort of plan as to what to do in order to gain an internship. So it sort of hit on what we all talked on. Test your advices, formulate a plan, research, be prepared, have questions, approach as many as possible, have proper grammar, and then what you shouldn't do, right? Don't be impatient. Don't talk about irrelevant things. Don't pester people constantly. Dress professionally, all that good stuff. So hopefully by doing all that, you can succeed in your job fairs. So a lot of the times there's a lot of internships that are necessarily unadvertised. So these are internships that aren't publicized as much. So what this means is that these are very selective programs, right? So they don't necessarily have to go to job fairs to recruit people. In order to do this, if you're really interested in a program, but it's really selective, sometimes the internship can be unadvertised. So in order to succeed in these, make sure to follow these tips. So first and foremost, identify, your top 20 companies. And like I said, because they're unadvertised, they're likely very, very hard to get into because so many people will be interested in them. And most of these times, these companies do have hiring managers on LinkedIn. So it's very important that you set up your own LinkedIn profile and pursue opportunities from there. As I sort of touched on before, start with the smaller companies so you can work your way up and gain practice before you move on to the bigger ones. Ask for an internship. Just, once you're in communication through LinkedIn, just be like, hey, can I gain work experience through working in this field? And if they say no, just ask again. Keep going, keep trying until someone says yes. There's a lot of cold calling involved behind this process because, like I said, because it's unadvertised, you'll likely get a lot of competition. And then finally, make sure to. Am I echoing? Is that? Okay, cool. So make sure to ask for other people. If someone says no, just ask if you have another source or another place that is willing to offer an internship. All right. So I sort of touched on this before, but perhaps one of the most important aspects of internships is to networking. In fact, I believe there was this Fortune 500 Fortune study the other day where the majority of CEOs, the reason they were able to succeed so far in their respective companies was because they were able to form networking relationships early on in their career, which enabled them to connect with the right people to move on to their respective fields. In fact, I think Another study also revealed how networking and soft skills were actually the most important factor in succeeding in your companies. So contrary to popular belief, it's not all about technical abilities, not all about how smart you are, not all about how well you are in your respective product, but it's about how well you're able to connect with others. So within your internships, there's several tactics that you can do to really make yourself stand out. The first one is make a list, have like a good like sort of list as to what you can ask people, especially if it's in a professional setting. You don't want to like come off as informal and like make it look like you're buds with your boss. You're just trying to get to know them better. Be friendly, don't be a jerk, come across as a nice person. Because Valentine's was a while ago, ask them out, not like in a romantic sense, but as in a way to sort of get to know them. Like ask your boss, hey, do you want to go get coffee, or do you want to do something where we can get to know each other, talk about your work goals, all that. And most importantly, be proactive. Don't hold things off in the last minute. In fact, there was another study that says if you're in a professional environment and if you don't approach someone within 3 minutes, your chances of actually forming a connection with them is gone because you waited too late. So make sure to really reach out as early as you can. LinkedIn. Oh, sorry. This was studied by UCLA, and they also revealed a list of good tactics to follow in order to succeed in your internship. So the one on the left column shows what most students do. So they do stuff through LinkedIn, they try to get their internships. But people who are really lucky, people who really stand out, they rely mostly on internships, right? They reach out to their social networks, they reach out to their parents, to their friends, to people who are really passionate about it. And that actually enables them to move through quicker. So that's what really makes the successful ones stand out from people who aren't so successful, because how they rely on their networking circle. So I thought that'd be kind of cool, but if all of you could sort of type into the chat what you think would be a good networking question to ask a professional mentor or a boss. So yeah, if you were just trying to meet with your boss for the first time, if you're trying to meet with someone who was a professional mentor, what would you ask them to get to know them better in a professional sense, while also increasing your internship chances? Yeah, these are really good questions. How you started in industry, what future goals do you have? What does a typical day in your life look like? Are there any members? Yeah, so these are all very good questions that sort of let you get to know your professional mentor better, and hopefully you secure a higher internship. All right, so the next sort of follow-up step in that is how to succeed in these internships, right? Like once you get the internship, once you're in the position, how do you make sure you don't flop out? How do you make sure that you actually like stand your ground and succeed in it? So really the first thing you need to do is learn about the company, right? You need to learn what their vision is, what their goal is, what they plan to do in the future. Because even if you are the most talented person in the company or the smartest person in the company, if you have no idea what their vision is and what they're trying to do, then you likely won't be able to succeed in it, because frankly put, you won't understand what's expected of you. Make sure to accept all assignments that come your way. So don't say, oh, I can't do this because I'm busy that day, or oh, I can't do this because I have so-and-so that day. But make sure to really be proactive and go the extra mile. In fact, accept all assignments, try to take more than what's offered on your plate to really make yourself stand out. Ask questions, really get to know what is expected of you. Look for a mentor in an internship scenario. Be sure that you know someone who trusts you, who can guide you, who can make sure that you really grow within your company. Maintain professionalism, be very professional, don't be informal, address everyone with kindness and respect. As usual, grow your network. The more you grow your network, the more you connect with the people in your internship, the more likely you are to succeed. Be positive. A lot of the times it may seem like it's very hard, it's very difficult, but really positivity is really what's, again, another study, but people who are successful are 60% more likely to be successful because of their positive mindset, because that allows them to be more hardworking because they know that success is in sight. So really keep that in mind. The positive mindset is really critical for success. Takes lots and lots of feedback. Again, nobody is perfect, especially in internship. You're gaining experience for the first time. Make sure to really understand like what you're doing wrong, what you can improve on, and use that feedback to develop your skills and improve. Be serious, dress professionally, manage your time properly, have really good time management, especially if you're balancing other aspects. Make sure to use planners. I think the keynote speaker sort of touched on this because she's double majoring, double minoring, but make sure to use lots and lots of digital tools, calendars, support network to really make sure that everything's being done on time, in addition to having a good work-life balance. And hopefully by following that staircase that the guy's running up on, you can one day go from understanding your employer's goals to becoming a mentor for someone who's doing an internship themselves. So yeah, use these tips and succeed in internships. Oh, I guess that rhymes. Okay, and then the last one is, how do you turn your internship into a full-time job, right? Because that's the end goal of all of this. It's to use your initial experience and make it something that has an end product. So first and foremost, really, like I said, there was a lot of cold calling involved in the beginning. And that's because it's really hard to find an internship that's the right fit for you. So like, you can get an internship, but it might not be what you specifically want. And that can really backfire on you in the long run, because you don't want to spend your life doing, or you don't want to spend your career doing something that you don't love. So really make sure that it's something that really excites you and makes you passionate, because that ultimately is, the deciding factor of success. Make a good impression. Again, be punctual, dress properly. Don't be rude, do all your work on time, ask for more, take initiative. Make sure that your goals and expectations of career, what do you want out of this company? What do you want out of your internship? How do you want to succeed? Because once you know what you want from this company, you can tell others what they want, what they should be giving you. Have a strong, hard work ethic. So once you're passionate about the internship's goals, make sure that you're really doing everything on time to make sure that everything is being taken care of. Demonstrate initiative, be proactive, go the extra mile. Don't limit yourself just by doing what's required of you. Do more. Improve, gain feedback, learn. And then lastly, as I said, networking. That's perhaps the most important aspect of all of this, just to boost your connections. And once you do all that, just communicate effectively that you really want a full-time role, that you really invested yourself into this company, that you really put your heart and soul into this. And once you communicate, you can go up to your boss or your mentor or someone who's in a higher position than you. You can say, yeah, I want a full-time position. Yeah, I want to gain a higher position. I want to, have a job in this company because I believe in the vision of what's being offered. So yeah, that was sort of the entirety of the presentation. Before we end, I just want to do this because I want to see what everyone else feels about this. But if you could type in the chat what your preferred career path is and a place that you would like to intern to get to your desired career path. Just to see where everyone else is throughout our membership meeting. Auto body industry. Oh, do you mean automotive? Okay, my bad. Sorry. Automotive industry. That's cool. Yeah, so that's really cool, guys. We have a lot of different diverse fields. We have pre-med to consulting to marketing to cars, to mental health, company for the people who are deaf. Yeah, that's really cool. So thank you all for coming. I hope you learned something from the presentation, and I'll be passing it over so we can conclude the meeting for today.
Thank you, Arian, for sharing your presentation with us. As our membership meeting comes to a close, we hope you have all gained some resourceful information that you can use to help further start your careers after high school. So since we are slowly getting closer to the State Leadership Conference, are there any State Leadership Conference questions? As a quick reminder, the State Leadership Conference Survival Series of webinars will start next week. The first one is on February 24th, and this is for the state officer candidates. This webinar time has been changed to 5:30 p.m. to help with students who are active after school activities. Then the others will start at 4 o'clock. So the first one is on March 3rd, and this is just State Leadership Conference information, followed by March 10th, and this is conference and hotel registration. March 17th with competitive events, and on March 24th, there will also be another one for competitive events. On March 31st, it is certifications and digital badges. April 7th is voting delegates and business meetings. And the last one is on April 14th, and this is the Know Before You Go webinar. So Zoom links will be sent after you register for the webinar. Registration links can be found in the Memo Mondays or on page 8 of the SLC Call to Conference. Or you can send an email to any of us state officers, and we will be sure to send you the link. So are there any questions before we adjourn this meeting? If none, be sure to check out our Memo Mondays and our website at www.coloradofbla.org for any upcoming information about Colorado FBLA. Follow us on social media. If you would like to reach out to any of us officers via email, or you have any questions or would like to come for a chapter visit, I hope to see you all here next month. The February membership meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all for coming.